voice my concerns, who did I speak to but this man? And so I very calmly explained my situation, what I felt was unprofessional behavior, and I got an apology from the insensitive person. But I thought, you take it to someone who can fix it, but you be calm. Don't be emotional. Brief and to the point.
That's right. That's right. And so on a daily basis, how do you deal with all of the things that you've lost because of cancer? How do you deal with all of the things that you've lost because of cancer?
There's two different categories. There are things that I can adapt or adjust to. For example, nuclear medicine destroyed my saliva glands, so I had to adjust how I eat. Wow. Things that have been taken away that I can't run anymore. I have learned to adapt and go, okay, you used to run, that was a part of you, now you walk. But you can't dwell on what you've lost. You can either think positive things or think negative things. You can't think both at the same time. And there are days that it's more difficult than others, and I'd like to have what's not here, but I thought, you're still alive, you're still breathing, you're still walking. Think about all the positive things and dwell on those. Don't dwell on what you've lost.
That's right.
Doesn't make you any happier.
No, I agree. No, that's a great piece of advice, because I think that there are a lot of people that are focused on what they don't have anymore as opposed to what they have right now. And that's a great piece of advice. So I want to talk to you because I've had an opportunity to meet her. Let's talk about IZZY, the pink fire truck. You know, it's so interesting in all of the women that I've worked with and that I've helped, you have two different categories of women that once they've gone through cancer. You either have the woman that it's now a part of her and it becomes like a badge of honor. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a cancer survivor. And then you have women that will go through cancer and it was, I did it, it's done and over with, I don't ever want to talk about it again. Life just moves on and that's it. It's done and over with and they don't say anything. And I think what I love about the pink fire truck is the fact that you became that first individual. It has now become a part of you, but it's not just about you. It's about doing things now to help and support other women who have gone through what you've gone through. So tell us a little bit about the pink fire truck and how that came to be.
I love the pink fire truck. Dave Grable was a firefighter that came up with the idea, and my husband, who's also a Dave and works for the fire department, told my husband about it, and they brought the pink tour through here in town. And my husband loves to have a cause to support, so he went around and was telling people in the area, oh, look at this, we need to get this going. Well, everybody said, hey, that's a great idea. Somebody should do something. Well, we couldn't find any somebodies. So Dave says, we're wasting too much time. I'm going to go out and buy a truck. So my dear sweet husband went out looking for a fire truck and found some beat up old piece of junk in Ohio. The truck that you now know is nothing like what he brought home. So he went out, got a loan, bought the truck. And being that I love my husband as I do, I went out and got a part-time job so I could pay it off for him for Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah,
well, people assume that government money or the fire department, that all these other people paid for the truck. There's no donations were taken. We didn't take any money that could serve a lady fighting cancer. We did that on our own, and people don't realize that. So we got the truck painted, we got it going, and we will go 150-mile radius of home for wherever we are needed. And I don't care if I never see somebody again, but I believe God puts people in your life when you need the most. Mm-hmm. And I thought, if I can help them I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. If I can help them for that little bit, I don't care if they know my name. I don't care if they know anything about me. But that if I can help them for that little bit, that's what I went through all this for, just to help them. I was so blessed to have a good support group. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. And your attitude is so important. Once you are diagnosed, everybody comes out of the woodwork and they go, oh my gosh, my mother's paperboy's aunt's grandmother's sister's neighbor had cancer. I know exactly what you're going through. Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
They aren't interested in helping you or supporting you. They want to tell you somebody else's story. and they will all tell you the worst story they've ever heard. So the pink truck is to support women here in the community, right here in this area, not women in, not that there's anything wrong with Florida, which I'd like to be, or California, but we have women right here by us that need help. They need help financially, emotionally, and that's our goal, to help them. And again, I will hold that stinking flashlight to help you find the light at the end of the tunnel, because I honestly believe, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I also know that some days when you get up, you can look and you can't find that stupid tunnel. And it's like, oh my gosh. And you just need somebody to grab your hand and help you through and go, I'll be right here to help you. It's going to be okay.
Well, and I think that's it too. I think that what I love about what IZZY, the Pink Fire Truck, does is it brings women together who have something in common. They've all gone through that. And what you've said, right, when you were talking about, somebody will come and say, this person, I know this person who knows this person that went through what I know what you're going through. Unless you've actually walked in those shoes and have heard those words, you have cancer, you really can't even imagine what it is that they're going through. And so that's what I love, is that it seems like when the Pink Fire Truck is out, then that brings all of these women out, and they're more likely to share their story and be able to say, I know what you're going through. And this, it makes people smile, because it isn't something that you see every day. And so when you do see it, but it's one step further, like Dave's got the pink coat and he's got a pink helmet, like all of the things, and people can sign the truck. And so I think that's the other thing too, is that when you bring people together and they actually get to see the signatures of other women who have been there, who have battled alongside it, I don't think you feel quite alone.
And it's encouraging when women go and they see, oh my gosh, I know her. Or they see somebody who, if you've just been diagnosed and you see somebody who's a 2-year survivor, a 17-year survivor, you go, oh my gosh, I can beat this.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I always feel like that's where I always feel like the story of inspiration comes from, is when you've got somebody like yourself that has battled, 2 or 3 different times, and yet you're still here and you still smile and you're still able to tell your story. That's the inspiration. So I would ask you then, do you see yourself as an encourager and inspiration? Because I look at you as an inspiration.
I try to be. I figured I've been on this earth a long time. I can't figure out what I'm really good at, but I love to encourage people, to inspire them to go, to not just that they can get through this, but to be the best they can possibly be and enjoy life. Again, life is too short. Mm-hmm. There are no guarantees for tomorrow. And if you waste today worrying about, will cancer come back, you have just wasted one day of your life.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's interesting because I really tried to make Mike's death a learning lesson, I guess, for Seth. And just being able to tell him, right, that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. And that nobody would blame him after his dad died. And if he crawled in bed and pulled the covers over his head, nobody would blame him for that, because most people that knew Seth knew the relationship that he had with his dad. And so, but it's not what his dad would have wanted him to do. It's not how his dad would have wanted him to continue his life and his journey. And so really teaching him that lesson about it truly is, when something happens, how do you react to it? And that's what sets you up for either success or failure, is because of that. And so I hope that that's a lesson that he learned. I hate it that he had to go through what he went through in order to learn that, but I hope that that's something that serves him well. So, because it really is all about that.
It is.
All right. If people want to find out more about the Pink Fire Truck, where can they find? Do you have a website? I don't remember.
We don't. We just refer everybody to Dave at the fire station. We really should have a website, because sometimes things get lost in his email. And then people hunt me down and they go, can you get a hold of Dave? I'll try. I'll try. So I keep saying that we're going to get a website or something that's easier, because it goes through his email at the fire station, or they just call him at the fire station. And sometimes that goes through channels and it takes a while.
Well, if anybody would like information about the fire truck or how to get a hold of Dave, you can just email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org and I can hook you up.
All right, I can do that.
All right, thank you, IZZY. Thank you so much for joining us today. I so appreciate you being willing to share your story, because you are truly an inspiration to me.
Thank you, Kim. And you know what? I love you just as much. You are just as inspiring.
Well, I love you a lot too. All right, for our listeners, if you'd like to know more about the guests on our show or more information about Hello Gorgeous, you can email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and download our mobile app. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker. And until next time, stay gorgeous.